Hello, my gorgeous, lovely people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. Good whatever it is. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Morgan. Today we're going to be doing a vlog that's a little different from what I've been posting, and it's just going to be mood read with me for a week. And we're just going to go through different books throughout the week and see what I read. I'm hoping to get 3 books done this week. My phone's blowing up like crazy. I recently finished The Assassin's Blade, which is in the Throne of Glass series. It's like a 7 or 8 book series by Sara Maas. Okay, now the lighting's like a little weird. So yeah, this is The Assassin's Blade. I just finished it last night. So good. And the thing is, I told myself I was never going to read the Throne of Glass series, just because I was like, doesn't really seem like I'd like it. What was that? Doesn't really seem like I'd like it, and also don't really want to read like an 8-book series where the last like few books in the series are like 600-700 pages. I just really had no interest in doing that, but found this girl on sale and read her, and I will be reading the rest of the series. This got a 5 out of 5 stars for me. Looking back, I'd probably rate it like a 4.5, but I gave it a 5-star on Goodreads, So I'm trying to decide what book I want to read right now to start off this video. I've been not really in a reading slump, but I haven't been reading as much as I was in the spring/summertime when I really got into reading, just because I transferred schools recently. I'm trying to do really good in school, and I'm also a student athlete. So I really haven't been reading as much as I would like to, but my priorities lie within school. But that being said, since we are coming into winter break, I want to do some reading vlogs. This book, The 7-Year Slip, is really just staring me in the face right now. A lot of people that I watch on TikTok, I guess you'd call it Book Talk or BookTube, rave about this book. They love it. So I'm trying to decide if I want to read this, but I'm also kind of in a fantasy mood right now, so I kind of want to read a fantasy. I'm going to bring you guys to my bookshelf. Difference in lighting. My basement's currently being finished, so don't mind that. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna go with The 7-Year Slip because that's just what has been staring me in the face. So that's what we're gonna go with, The 7-Year Slip. I'm not gonna read the back because, like I said, I like to go into books a little blind, but this book is apparently about a girl who lives in an apartment, and somehow she like travels back in time, or like someone else travels back in time or forward in time, whatever time realm they're from, and that person lived or lives, however you would want to say it. I'm not really getting my words out correctly right now. This person 7 years in the future like comes to her apartment, and he apparently lives there but 7 years in the future or 7 years in the past, and somehow there's like some sort of time travel element there, and they like apparently start a romance and end up falling in love. I'm gonna read this. It's only 326 pages including the epilogue, 324 not including the epilogue, so we should be able to get through this pretty quick. Let's get to it. Let's get reading. Let's set up a little cute cozy reading situation, and I'll update you when I have things to update you about this book. I'm really in a like crazy mood right now. Let's do that. I gonna say? It's currently 10:21 and I had to work tonight, but I have got some reading done because I only worked for a few hours since I only had to clean today. I've been reading, obviously, The 7-Year Slip by Ashely Poston. Today I read more than I've read in one day in a really, really long time. I'm this far into the book now, and I'm on page 202. Goodreads says that I am 57% of the way through. So yeah, 57% of the way through the book, and I just started that today. So I read 202 pages today, which is a lot more than I've read, like I said, consistently like in a day before, and I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow. So I was really confused because I didn't read the back beforehand. Still not going to read the back because I'm still kind of going into it blind. What I am gathering from this, no spoilers, so don't worry. Basically, you have our main female character, and her name is Clementine. And then our main male character, his name is Iwan. It's spelled I-W-A-N. I've been pronouncing it Iwan, kind of like Ivan, Iwan. Yeah, I really don't know. But anyways, Clementine and Iwan. Clementine had an aunt. She recently passed away. Again, not a spoiler. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it says it on the back of the book. Her late aunt's apartment, so not a spoiler. But she moves into her aunt that passed away's apartment, and they used to do a lot of traveling together. And she moves into the apartment, and obviously she's really, really sad because she was really close to her aunt. And her aunt used to always tell her all these little like fables, stories that she obviously thought to not be true. And one of those stories was that the apartment would go 7 years forward in time and 7 years backward in time. Like when you open the door sometimes it just would do that. It like time traveled. And she goes 7 years back in time, and there's like a boy in her apartment, and obviously it ends up being the MMC, the main male character. They start to have a little thing going on. Obviously, this is a romance book. And then she goes back to her like regular normal life 7 years in the future, I guess it would be, or like just like now. And she navigates her life. She obviously tries to find him because she's like low-key in love with him. And yeah, the story just goes from there, basically back and forth in time periods, her being with him in the past, and then her being with him in the present, or like her trying to find him in the present. This book is super good so far. At first, when I started reading it, I was like, I don't really like this a lot. Like, because it talks a lot about book publishing, because our main character is like a publicist. I don't know what you'd call her, an editor. And then the main male character likes cooking. So like two things that like I don't really know a lot about. I'm not a big cooker. Like I don't cook lots of food. And then I don't obviously know a lot about publishing. I read books. I don't learn about the publishing stuff behind it. But it has been pretty interesting to learn about those two things. And also the way that I am living to see them in the 7 years in the past, the way that I'm living, I'm just like racing through the chapters for when we can get 7 years in the past, because this man literally is so nice. That's why I love books, because you can write the most perfect people, the most perfect world, the most perfect story, and this is serving for that. He's just like perfect, and he understands her, the way he uses words. I'm just like, ugh, that was a good description. But anyways, I am gonna probably go to bed now, and I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. Like I said, I didn't really like it at the beginning, but as I went through it, like low-key on my bed, I'm like this is what I was doing with the book. I was like smacking it on my head. I was like, oh, no, like speaking out loud. So that's usually a good sign. But I did just come off of reading Assassin's Blade, which I really loved. And all I can think about is Throne of Glass. So I don't know if that's going to affect the rating of this book, but we will see. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hi guys, I have a little update. I forgot to say earlier in this video that I was also listening to an audiobook. I was listening to One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I'll put a picture of it here or here somewhere on the screen. I finished it today on my way to school. I feel like that book would have been a lot better if I actually read it. I had kind of a hard time understanding it listening to it. I was also listening to it on 2x speed because I was low-key just like, can this be over? Like, I kind of want to listen to something else. I did end up rating it a 3 stars. Basically, what One Dark Window is about, it's about like these magical cards. There's like 12 of them, I think. I honestly don't know because I was so confused the whole time. There's like magical cards and there's like magic in the world, but magic doesn't come for free. You always have to pay a price. So there's also like bad magic in the world, and basically this world that our main character Elspeth is in, which also I love that name, Elspeth. Like, that is so unique and it also sounds so gorgeous. Elspeth is in like this world where there's like lots of mist, and when people go in the mist they usually don't come back because the mist is like bad. And if you get all of these, I think they call them Providence cards, the 12 of them, if you can get them all together, basically you can get the mist to go away and like everyone to not have bad magic. Again, I was very confused reading the book, so there was a little romance in there, a little romance story going on. I also feel like during that book I just really didn't care about the characters. Like, I was just like, don't really care what you do, don't really care if you get bonked in the head and knocked out. Like, I just really don't care. So yeah, I ended up rating that book a solid 3. I can see why other people really, really like it, and I think I would have probably liked it a little more had I read it, if that makes sense. It did end on like, not like, I don't want to say a cliffhanger, but it did end off on like a, oh, kind of moment. Oh, so that's what that is. And the duology just came out, or like the second book in the series just came out, so I might end up eventually listening to that or reading it, one of the two, but I don't think anytime soon, just because I didn't really like it, but I also want to know like what's going on. So after I finished that, I started another audiobook. It's called Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen so you guys can see. It's like a little Christmassy book. I've never read or listened to a Christmassy book, so this is my first one ever, and I'm low-key loving it. Like, it's so cheesy, but it's like so cute. Like, the town that these people live in is called Mistletoe. Like, what? That's so cute. This audiobook also, it's like dual POV, so there's like a boy's perspective and then the girl's perspective, and there are 2 different narrators, so there's like a male narrator and a female narrator, and I low-key like that too. Like, it's so cool. I've never listened to that before. I'm gonna go to class now, and I'll see you guys when I'm reading next, or honestly maybe when I'm done with this book. I literally have tears in my eyes because this writing is so beautiful. It's not sad what's happening right now, but like, this writing is so gorgeous. I'm gonna read this that just like brought tears to my eyes. And this isn't a spoiler because remember, it is a romance book, so you know there's gonna be some romance in there. I knew I was falling, the kind of falling that would hurt when I hit the ground, the kind of falling that would shatter me into pieces. So I kissed him, feeling bright and reckless and brave, and I fell. Stop. Literally stop right now. Words on pages do this to me. After going through this much of the book, like 230 pages, and just knowing these characters, you're just like living for it. This freaking book. This book. It's not even sad. It's just that I can't. I literally can't. I'll talk to you guys when I have my thoughts together. Okay, I'm finally ready to talk about this book. What to say, honestly. So I flew through this book. I didn't really read any of it yesterday, so if you consider just reading it between 2 days ago and today, I literally flew through this. Oh my god. Like, I have no words to describe this book, like to describe what I feel about this book. I rated it 4.5 out of 5 stars just because I didn't really love it in the beginning. I honestly thought I was gonna hate it in the beginning. I felt like the writing was so good. You could literally see my, like, visceral, is that the word I wanna use? That's the word I'm gonna use. I was sobbing. It's not sad. It's actually a very, like, happy book. It has some sad elements in it. I'm trying to say things without spoiling them, so please bear with me. To be able to go back in time in certain points in your life would be so amazing, and I feel like if anybody had that opportunity for a certain time in their life, they would definitely take it. If I had a chance to go back to 7 years ago, I'd be 13. Wouldn't necessarily take that up, but if I had a time where I could go back and see people that I hadn't seen in a very long time, or people that weren't alive anymore, I would immediately take that up just to say hi to them one more time or whatever. Just seeing how much character development happened from the beginning of the book with our main character Clementine all the way until the end. She was like a completely different person than she was at the beginning of the book, in my opinion. And also our main male character, he also had so much character development. Seeing his character development and who he became after those 7 years, who he was before the 7 years, and then who he became at the complete end of this book was also just amazing. There's some romance books that are 500 pages long and they don't have this much character development or character, I want to say like nutrients, but that's not the word. Depth is a good word. They don't have so much character depth, and I felt like this book did such a good job with the 330 pages that it had. This is a really good book. Please go read it. It's so good. Now the hard part is picking out my next book to read, because I still do not have the second book in the Throne of Glass series. Throne of Glass. I don't have that book yet. Haven't gone out and bought it. But I wish I did, because that is definitely what I would be picking up right now. I don't know what I'm feeling. All I can think about is Throne of Glass. I don't know what I'm gonna end up picking. I'm feeling very overwhelmed right now. So I do have a reading update. My stepmom was like, oh, I'm going to the the bookstore later. Do you want to come with us? But I had plans that night, so I was like, no, but can you please get me Throne of Glass? I'll send you a picture, I'll give you money, please get it for me. And she got it for me. I am halfway through the book. I'm on page 210. There's, I think, 405 pages in here. I've been marking it up a little with little tabs, and I'm really liking it so far. I think it's a lot different than The Assassin's Blade. Basically, I can tell you what this book is about because it's the first in the series, basically. Who we're following is this girl named Selena. I call her Selena, but anyways, that might be wrong, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. We're following her, and she basically was like a slave in these salt mines. Somebody comes and rescues her out of slavery, and there's like this big game. I forgot to tell you, Selena is an assassin. She's like, goes out and kills people for money. And that's basically why she's in the salt mines or whatever. Somebody comes and rescues her out of the salt mines and is like, hey, there's this big game that's gonna be going on. I'm calling it a game. Think of like Hunger Games-esque, where there's like a bunch of different people who have been either in big prisons in this world, like put in slavery for something really bad they did. And there's like a whole bunch of them, like 25 of them. They're basically all fighting to become like the king. Basically to become like this king's head person, like the king's assassin, I think. And she's like just fighting around all the people, and that's all I'm really gonna say for now, because if I say anything else, there's gonna be a spoiler. But I'm liking it so far. It's a little confusing in some parts because the world building is happening a lot in this compared to The Assassin's Blade. And I'm hoping to finish it by tomorrow. I want to get to page 300 tonight and then read the last 100 pages tomorrow. Also, I finished today Nick and Noelle's Christmas playlist. Again, I'll put a picture up here on the screen. I rated it a solid 4 out of 5 stars. I honestly really enjoyed this book. I, for some reason, thought that it was going to have no depth. It was just going to be a silly little Christmas book, but it had so much depth. It talked a lot about grief. It talked a lot about loss. It was so funny. There's like a jealous ex-girlfriend in it, and then there's his best friend. Oh my god, it's so good. It's like found family. I recommend it. The audiobook was really good because there were 2 separate narrators. I liked Nick's narrator a lot better than Male's narrator because the female narrator, she had a voice kind of like this in 2 times speed. I'm about to go read more of Throne of Glass, hopefully get to page 300 tonight. Okay guys, it is a few days later and I have officially finished Throne of Glass. I finished this a couple days ago. I'm rating it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. Like I said earlier in this video, it's basically about this assassin. She's like the best assassin in this world that they're in. She basically has to go to these games to work for the king. So that's what this book was about. It was really good. We met new characters in this one compared to The Assassin's Blade, which I read first, like I also said earlier. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for this. So good. Have my new favorite character also, Kale. I freaking love Kale. Every time he came up in this book, I was like, I love you and I cannot wait to see more of you throughout this series. Don't really know how I feel about other characters yet, but I'm so excited to read the next book in the series. So freaking excited. So, like I said, 4 out of 5 stars for this. That's probably gonna be it for today's video. I'm just gonna do a quick overview of all the books we read. So first, of course, The 7-Year Slip. We all saw my reactions to this. I was bawling my eyes out. 4.5 out of 5 stars for this one. So good. I love Ashely Poston's writing. I definitely will be reading more books by her. It really got me, honestly. 7-Year Slip, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Definitely recommend it. Even if it doesn't seem like your thing, recommend it. Because I didn't think it really seemed like my thing either. And then I didn't actively show you guys, but in this vlog, I did finish One Dark Window. Like I said, I rated that a 3 out of 5 stars. Honestly, might have brought it down to a 2.75 now because I really didn't know what was going on during that book. So 2.75 wasn't really my favorite, but I definitely can see how other people really like it. And like I said earlier in this video, I think I would have really enjoyed it had I actually physically read the book rather than listened to it. The audiobook narrator was really good, but I just feel like you would connect more if you physically read it. I also listened to Nick and Noelle's Christmas Playlist by Cody Hall. I absolutely loved and adored that book. I rated it, I think, 4 out of 5 stars solid. And then, like I said, we have Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Really, really like this, 4 out of 5 stars. I kind of like the Assassin's Blade more. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion. I'm not going to say much about that one because depending on where you read it in the series, I don't want it to get ruined for anyone. 4 out of 5 stars, so good. So excited to see more of Kale. So that is all the books for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this reading vlog video. I know it's different than what I've posted in the past, but I'm hoping to make some more book content in the upcoming weeks, months, years. I just really love watching book content, and I have so much knowledge about books, so I feel like I can share this knowledge and one of my passions and hobbies on the internet. I think that is just awesome. I really hope to see you in the next one. If you made it this far, please don't forget to, of course, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff that you guys know how to do, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.